Hi folks, how you doing? Well. This is like this kind of tragedy, and I'm seeing in 60 Minutes who was involved in this Paris tragedy. This is more like blaming who it is. They say that ISIS has involved. Okay, yes, there was some crazy Frenchmen living in Belgium planning these attacks, and they have no connections. But this is more like the case of like it happened with Columbine with the trench coat mafia with back in 1999 with the trench coat mafia. Even though I put a set of what you could do with that app nowadays, or since then up since the tragedy has happened since Timothy McVeigh in 1995, the Oklahoma City bombing. What is just a homegrown terrorist? A homegrown. These people are doing this crazy shit that they want to put people in harm's way. As since then has haven't been these tragedy here in the United States. Well, the Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh. Yeah, he did his crap. He blew up a he blew up a building in Oklahoma City. That guy got caught. And then you have in Tokyo, Japan, uh, Sh- Shoko of Sahara in the same year. Putting smog in the subway, killing like people, and then the Columbine. Um, Eric Harris and Diane Klebold. These crazy nuts had planned to do the Columbine shooting back in 1999 in Columbine, Colorado, at a high school. I seen that. I seen all that crazy shit, right? Then how many people has been killed? I remember. I don't know how it is, about 200 or 100 something, right? Then you have through them James people that copy shit in the movies. Remember um, James E. Holmes? James E. Holmes back in 2012 when he copied all the Black Knight, one of the Batman movies. He just came out with the Joker and did all this crazy shit. He shoot out like people in the movie theater, like 100 people in the movie theater, that is, and he did this thing because he copied it out of a movie. This is crazy. This is craziness. Now, and then you could remember. Don't forget about the crazy Chinaman in Virginia. Yeah, the crazy Chinaman back in 2007 Virginia, the Virginia Tech Massacre, right? And that's what we call it. The guy was Singhu Cho or something like that. That guy killed himself because Korea was part of China way back in the days. That was called the crazy Chinaman. The crazy Chinaman has said about so many shit, and he has killed people in Virginia Tech. I could remember when, but this guy is one crazy nutcase that, I mean, he he was nuts. He was nuts, right? Then he killed himself, and then everybody's worried about this. Yeah, I mean, do you know that the crazy Chinaman in Virginia, right? End of story. Then we go up to James E. Holmes. That one it is, and in Aurora, Colorado. No, Adam P. Lanza. Adam P. Lanza back in 2012. He shot he did a schooling elementary school, right? These are people. Children are the future, right? So what this punk did, he did a bunch of shootings in there in Newton, Connecticut. There's nothing related to terror, but these are just crazy nuts that are in the nut sack. But this Eric Harris and the Island Klibble were forming the Trenchcoat Mafia, right? That's just a little group of people in there. Then Marion May in 2014 of a shooting in FSU. They gunned the guy down. Thank goodness the police has saved. Maybe he might just put a bomb. That's another one. I thought he was joining ISIS and stuff. Well, there is no situation as worst as these guys or these crazy Frenchmen. They might join a small French jihadist revolution or the French Muslim revolutionary group and shit in France. Maybe they started their own thing in Belgium, and they begin to shoot out another massacre, killing 138, 140 people, 200 people. Let's put it that way. These suckers have, even though in a shoot down at a soccer game, at a concert, has did a shooting rampage. They try to blow up a soccer game between France and Germany, or a football game, calling it outside the North America. So what these fellows did is that they did all this crap. They could be rebellious. They said they might be small group, homegrown French terrorists, some French-based jihadist group out there having their plans in Belgium, and that's it. There's nothing to do with ISIS, but that's it. But then I seen 60 Minutes. Yeah, maybe ISIS might be connection. They might have some connection out there, but really they're just a bunch of crazy French nuts, or doing everything in harm's way. All to do is try to kill their own people, French people. I'm just feel sorry for that tragedy in France, but they just exaggerated the media. Anyway, I might just believe that this could be, there is no negotiation within governments, that how could you handle this ISIS situation. Then you have French troops going to Syria, the French Air Force bombing in Syria, whatever the heck, for goodness sake, they're trying to do for protection, as they think that's all it is on ISIS, right? Yeah, it would be normal, and I mean, I guess things should go back to normal if this shit happened in South Korea. To me, it will be a bit of fucking normal, because let it happen in North Korea, let it happen in Seoul. It would be normal in Seoul. Yeah, ISIS would be involved. Yeah, and I believe it. Let ISIS have access to nuclear weapons. Let ISIS behead Japanese. Behead Japanese people, capture Japanese hostages captured in North Korea. So that way, we could try to that Japan could get involved against, a war against ISIS, using the similar nuclear missile technology used during the Ronald Reagan era, when Ronald Reagan was up to attack nuclear missiles. Or I might say that for Hukaro, this guy that's trying to say, oh yeah, well, yeah, he's a Korean guy, but he lives in Massachusetts. I think it's better off to give ISIS a a cyber threat to the United States and let them both unite Korea under ISIS, or if that what it is, given a risk that they, because they might not do shit, Japan would get them, and then this is like an Operation Trojan Horse. That means, yeah, that saving American hostages and Japanese hostages in exchange of having these South Korean people to destroy and bomb mosque for a mission to go to Syria or go to the Middle East and get slaughtered by ISIS. That way, if they slaughtered Koreans, then it would be normal to this kind of tragedy, or worse, that infiltrated from North Korea as they unite the North and South Korea under the government of ISIS as a Trojan horse government. Yes, Trojan horse, like Troy. Let Korea be like Troy and let ISIS be their Trojan horse. That means that Japanese government would attack ISIS and Korea will be back to Japanese sovereignty, and then things go back to normal because of this comfort women thing of, if it's this situation, the best situation to involve in this is that ISIS get involved and infiltrate in North Korea, and when they unite, they kill. This is my dog. They kill a bunch of Koreans, killing Japanese hostages at the beginning in North Korea, while they do a rampage that anybody who are against ISIS are killed. If not, they need to join ISIS, or is this united Korea? I think this is the only situation to end ISIS. Other than that, I believe the best solution is to capture these suckers, the French police, and them, because this is nothing involved. This has to be some kind of small little group. They want to start a Islamic French Revolution or some other thing to get these guys, and there is a bunch of maniacs. Same thing like the Columbine trenchcoat mafia massacre with two guys doing all the shootings in Columbine. Other than that, the best solution or the best situation is that let ISIS, massacre Koreans in South Korea, let Koreans do missions to blow up mosques, send them to the Middle East for saving the lives of Japanese and American hostages within the Japanese government, and then Operation Trojan Horse. ISIS is finished, Korea goes back to Japanese sovereignty, and things goes back to normal, and not stopping this comfort women and all these other stupid issues that I think that they don't have any concrete of who going to get the middleman. This is just like digging up holes, and then you have the triads are the middlemen, and then these governments doing that. ISIS is good to have infrastructure, to have access to nuclear weapons, to unite both North and South Korea, starting everything back to normal, and the last thing they gonna do is just behead Japanese hostages in North Korea. So ISIS will be like the Berlin Wall and the Trojan horse, so Japan could get involved attacking ISIS. So goodbye, see you in the next goodbye, peace out, see you in the next video. The next video will be about dirty sports, because I said that, because I will see you pretty soon. Goodbye and peace out.